Good afternoon. This is Mr. Darian Simmons. I'm your instructor for Math 200 Statistics. I'm trying to give you a couple pointers on how we scrub the data in Lab 1. So if you would, we should have already did this. If you would go to your file section in the classroom, download the sports data package. All right. And then once you open it up, if you would save it on your computer. I'm gonna just save it as sports data 2. Save. And then at that point, if you would go to your Google Suites, if I can get there. Excuse me. All right. Got so much going on here. So you would go to your Google Drive, all right, and you want to add that file to your Google Drive. So you want to do a file upload. All right, so I'm gonna click on that sports data package I just downloaded. It's gonna upload this file into my Google Drive. And then once I open it, it's gonna open it with Google Sheets. So I have Google Sheets. I have my sports data open in Google Sheets. And as you see, I have down here at the bottom, I have the NBA raw data, which you see on the screen. I have the NFL raw data, and I have the NHL raw data. We're only going to be dealing with the NBA raw data. So the assignment for Lab 1 is to scrub the data. Scrubbing the data means to go in your program that's holding your data and kind of just get rid of some of the errors that may occur. So I'm going to quickly do the Atlanta height and Atlanta weight. So as I go through each one of these players in the Atlanta height, player 1 has a height of 73 inches. Player 2 has a height of 6'8". Player 3 has a height of 6'1". And player 4, 82 inches, and etc. In order to do any calculations in Microsoft Excel, or in this case, Google Suites, your unit of measurement has to all be the same, and it has to be one consistent unit of measurement. So here, player 1 is in inches, but player 2 is in feet and inches. So we would need to convert all our measurements into inches. So player 2, we all know there's 12 inches in a foot. So to convert 6'8" to inches, I would do 6 times 12, which is 72. And I'm gonna add the 8 inches to that, and I get a total of 80 inches. So I would like for you to go in and retype that as 80. All right, and as you see, it converts it to a numerical value of 80. Player 3, 6'1". That would be 72 plus 1, which is 73. Again, player 7 should be 73. Player 9, it's already looks like it's in inches, but the value is sticking to the left side of the cell. So that sort of indicates that the value wasn't entered as a numerical value. So we need to format that cell to make it sure it is numerical. So I will go to format, I will go to number, and basically just click automatic, and it converts it to a numerical value. Again, player 11 should be 73. And that is kind of going to clean up the Atlanta height for us. Now let's look at the Atlanta weight. And I'm sure these are in pounds. Player 1 is 190 pounds. Player 2 is 210. Player 3, 170. If we look down here, player 8, looks like 26 feet and 8 inches. So whoever entered the data made a mistake. We all know human error comes into factor when there's typing and entering uh, uh, alphabetical values and numerical values. So we want to correct those errors. So 268 pounds is what we need. So I'm going to retype that as 268 and let that be the numerical value. Player 9, 195, again, is sort of sticking to the left side of the cell, which is indicating it wasn't entered as a complete numerical value. So I'm going to format that number and format it as a number. I'm going to go again because I don't like how that looks, and just click automatic. All right. So as you see, I have cleaned up the data for the Atlanta height and Atlanta weight. You would need to do the same for all of your teams in the NBA data. You would need to make sure they're all in inches. So transform them from height in inches to just inches, and make sure that they all numerical values in that cell. That is considered scrubbing the data because I'm getting my data set up for any statistical calculations and formulas that we need to use, because in order for Google Sheets to do those calculations, the data have to be all in the same unit value. So, and at the same time, you should maybe make some spaces in your data so you have some room to operate. So I'm gonna go to, in this case, and this gives you an opportunity to try to figure out the ribbon in Google Sheets and how to use it. So I'm gonna go to File. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Insert, and I'm gonna go to Insert a column to the right of the column that I'm in. And that kind of gives me a space between Atlanta and Boston. And you can do the same for Boston. Insert a column to the right, and it kind of spaces your teams out to give you a little room because we're going to do some calculations for lab 2 and lab 3. So you need a little space, just cleaning up your data and getting it a little more organized. And again, this is scrubbing our sports data package, particularly the NBA raw data. Thank you.